Hey guys, welcome back to this thing, whatever we're doing. Something unthinkable happened. My recording got screwed up because I wasn't paying attention to some stuff, space issues, whatever. Oops. So, I actually planned out a whole bunch of crap and lost it all. So, knowing the issues that occurred, we're going to try to rectify things immediately. So, one of the first things that we're going to do is that food may or may not become a problem. It hasn't actually, to the point where I played and recorded 2 previous, but just in case, I am extra. I don't want to run out of food. I said this the first time playing through that this is a huge issue, and I realized that most of this shit over here is a waste of time for the time being. It's not helpful to anybody. We will come back to deal with it later. We don't need this tunnel. We're finishing up this building. We will eventually need a blacksmith, which I threw down right here, right next to it. I didn't even say, welcome back to Clintwater. I forgot that this is what we named the place, but regardless. And to catch up some of this stuff, we're actually going to go faster. So I'm pretty sure, I actually don't know, is a thing, exactly all the mechanics of this game, but I think if you tell your townspeople to cut down huge swaths of shit, it takes a lot of time, and they are pulled away from other important resources and jobs to do that, and it's not good. But like I said, to catch up and make sure things are cool, we're going to work at way, way faster times. But I wanted to say, start this out the same way I hope to start them out all the time, and ask, how are you guys doing? How has your week been? It's been a week since the previous one. It felt like I don't remember exactly what I was doing in this, but I did, and it's not a big deal. I can catch up in my mind. And we're not going to staff this place right now. Actually, no, we are. That's a terrible idea to not staff it. Taylor, we don't need a blacksmith, is the only thing. We're not going to staff that for a while, probably, until we get some more town folks. Oh, shit, we're not going to have enough people to work these yet. That's okay. More babies will be born, more babies will grow up, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, how's your week been? How you been? Tell me all about it. It was Thanksgiving week. Turkey Day happened. I don't know how you guys do that, if that's a good or bad time for you. As I said, no. If it's a good or a bad time because, you're hanging out with family, and maybe that's cool, maybe that's not cool. Who knows? Everybody's different in that thing. Both things are okay. I mean, not if it's not cool with your family because they're shitty to you or something, but, whatever. And, Thanksgiving is what it is, but it's still a nice time to get together. We had a nice friends thing, like a Friendsgiving is a thing that lots of people do now, and I did that too with my friends. We watched terrible movies, drank a whole bunch, ate a bunch of good food. I made pretzel bread, which is delicious. I mean, just in general, I love pretzel bread. So do a lot of other people. It's very popular now as well, which I don't care about so much, except for the fact that it's amazing that it's popular, because every restaurant has an appetizer that's soft pretzel stuff, and that's the best thing ever. Pretzels are delicious. But yeah, so yeah, they're chopping down stuff. They're not building anything really. Okay, but yeah, so I realized I was busy at Thanksgiving. You may have thought that I kind of did a holiday thing by not putting up a video on Friday, but it was just me fucking up because I was busy and I fucked up. But, I'm making sure we're going to go through the rest of the stuff. I'm playing Revolution Ace, and you can hear all my feelings about that game in that game. I'm not gonna bother talking about it here because it is what it is. In my previous fuck up, I want to talk about the same thing basically because it was ridiculous. But we watched some bad movies that are purposely, we chose them because they're bad, and we wanted to have fun watching them be bad. I think that's fun. My friends typically think that's fun. We have a good time with it. The point is that we watched a movie called Atlantic Rim, which is just, I think people have dubbed them mockbusters, where they just are like try to get close to a blockbuster movie name and steal that and be like, hey, here's this shit. And it's bad. It was bad. It was so bad. It's by Asylum, who, if you're aware or not aware, are the people who make Sharknado and other mockbuster movies that are all mostly trash. And this was very bad. I love Pacific Rim because I love giant robots and giant monsters. All that shit's cool. It's amazing. Which actually can lead into a different topic once I finish talking about this one. But that movie was bad. Not Pacific Rim, Atlantic Rim. Pacific Rim is a fun, kind of dumb movie. It's silly and whatever, but it's just really enjoyable. If you didn't already know that, I will suggest that you watch it if you haven't, because it's a fucking blast. Was that? No, that was just a roof. I thought it made it look like a path there. Hey, we got people making coats. Yeah, we have this food problem, but once they fucking finish building these and chopping down all this shit, we'll start actually going crazy with food, and then it won't be a big deal. But this movie was bad. It looked terrible. The acting was like, I don't know exactly what to say, because it was bad, but it was like its own unique kind of bad. Like, how could people be this bad at acting, I guess? Because it's like, no one ever really emoted at all. Almost everybody just had the same expression the whole time in the movie. The one character, his mood seemed to change from just kind of relaxed to, in some parts, he just seemed tired. Like, he just seemed like he'd spent too long in the sauna. And that's not, you know, it's not necessarily an emotion that you're like, yes, when I see this, I can relate to that character. But regardless, it was a bad movie. And they just stole cool action scenes from literally everything that's in recent times. Like, there was an early scene that was terrible where they fought these random monsters that no one ever bothered explaining, or, you know, it was just never really talked about. They just happened to be there. So that was bad, but they fought these monsters. It was nothing. They, the fights were stupid because the only reason a fight would stop is because, the plot deemed it so. Like, most of the time, they were doing the same thing the whole fight, and it wasn't working, and then suddenly it was working. It wasn't like in movies and stuff where somebody, you know, pulls a Daredevil stunt or whatever, and then it works, and everybody's like, eh. But, you know, somebody's mad about it, basically, is the point. But, there was an early fight where the guy ended up wrestling with the monster and his robot, and then prying its jaws open, and somebody shot a missile down to him and exploded, which has been done in lots of things, actually, I think, but most recently happened in the newest Godzilla movie, where Godzilla did that, and it was awesome. The American Godzilla. So in this Atlantic Rim, it was terrible. Um, you just okay, but that's another thing. It's like this movie went. That's how bad the movie is because I just didn't know what to do with anything. They went, okay, you viewer just saw that scene and it was supposed to be cool, so whatever. At least it's stuck in your mind a little bit. Obviously, I can talk about it now, but it was stupid. But then maybe I think less than a minute later, the guy meets up with his crew, like robot fighting crew guys, and goes on to describe that fight in detail. Like everything that you just watched, he spends a long time describing to his friends, which is horrible. Because that would happen in real life if I did that and it was cool, and you're my friend but you didn't see it, and I got to told you that it was cool, and I explained it, you'd be like, holy shit. But they don't do that in a movie. The rule is show, don't tell and stuff. This one just went show and tell. We're going to show you, and then in case you forgot that cool stuff happened because we put effort in and made that, we're going to tell you that it happened again. And it's so god-awful. And, the rest of the movie was dumb, too, because random shit just happens, pretty much. The vast majority of plot was just, random shit happening. Wait, where is the farmer? Here's the farmer. I'm gonna take that guy away. I'm just gonna say fuck it and put 4 of them there. Oh, you know what? That's a bad idea for now. There were just random moments in the plot that were there for drama that didn't make any sense and no one cared about. There was, the robot fighting people was a crew of 3, 2 dudes and 1 girl, and both the dudes wanted to be with that girl, even though, and this may just be because she was a terrible actress, or that because she had no real chemistry with either of these people in real life, she just looked so displeased with them completely. It was bad. But oh wait. Okay. We are going to slowly trickle in more building, so more building happens. You know what? No. We do need a blacksmith. We'll set that to 150. We'll set this to 150. You know what? We'll bump this up. We'll bump this up to 1,000? But yeah, we need a blacksmith because we don't want to run out of tools because then work goes really goddamn slow. Oh, but we will slow this down. Not that much. We'll do it 2 times. But there is a part of drama where the one guy and girl are together. They're supposed to be, but it doesn't ever look like it because it was terrible. But the other guy apparently slept with the girl at some point, and then they were like, we have to tell him, and it's something that you imagine is going to create drama and tension between friends and stuff, and especially before a big mission comes up. They told the guy, and the guy was like, oh, I've slept with lots of friends, girlfriends, whatever, and then they just brush it off, and it never comes up again. Why? I'm just baffled. I'm just baffled at stuff that's written this poorly. You don't just throw things in for no reason. And like I said, random shit just kind of happens, and they stole stuff from movies. They obviously stole basically everything from Pacific Rim, but they especially did that at one point where it's oh, well, no. Pacific Rim didn't have anybody with a jetpack, really. No, but, they, at one point, they were oh, here's your robots or whatever you gotta do. Suddenly, they have to go far away, to New York, because I'm pretty sure that the production company, Asylum, has stock footage that they own of New York, and they just were like, well, we don't have to pay more for this, so we're going to New York. But they, who are these growing? Look at them growing in. Okay, how many sheep do we have? Sorry, I get distracted by making sure everything's cool here. This is going to take forever. I don't really know why. We're not doing anything else. I think it's just maybe because I slowed down time. But the point is, I had to go to New York, so it's like, oh, now your robots have jetpacks. And you control them with your mind instead of joysticks, because that's what Pacific Rim did. They don't really explain why that happens at all. And then they also are like, get into another fight. No, the monster is bigger this time. So the person in charge of the robots is just like, well, we forgot to tell you that you also have a button that turns on weapons. And, ooh, the health of our citizens is not good. We really want to finish that tunnel. And I would love to have the shit finish up. But yeah. Then they just got, like, Power Ranger-esque weapons. It was just like, oh, hey, your robot suddenly materializes a giant warhammer. Whatever. The movie was so bad. And I just wonder... I'm really curious to know what the people who made it think of it. Because I read an article about people trying to give scripts to Asylum, this place that makes these mockbuster movies and things like Sharknado. So you think that they kind of know that they're making this campy garbage that people watch to make fun of, like they're making riff track fuel pretty much kind of thing, whether professional riffers or just like you and your friends watch it and be like, aha, that's so dumb. But they don't, like, I don't think that they think they're making the best movies, but they definitely don't think that they're making that kind of garbage. Because the people who tried to write for these movies for them and do that stuff found out that they're like, if you make something too campy and ridiculous, they go, that's too much. You can't, that's too much. It's too ridiculous. It doesn't make enough sense. Which is things that these movies never do. So, yeah, just be curious to know what, like, the producers will be an interesting group to hear what they think. The writers, for sure, would love to know what they think, because I like to write, and it would just be amazing to know what these people who are writing these movies that turn out to be so bad are, like, what their thought process is, how they feel, you know, whatever. It's just so dumb. It's bafflingly stupid. I remember I was saying I love giant monsters, and that reminded me about how if you don't care about kaiju monsters, so specifically Godzilla is pretty much the number one. So you don't care that much. I love Godzilla. Godzilla is amazing to me. I think it's great. And the new Godzilla, the American one, I actually thought it was really good. And I know a lot of people complained about it because they're like, oh, this is a Godzilla movie, and I saw Godzilla for amount of time, but like, that's the way old Godzilla worked. It was like a lot of tension building, but this one was cool. It had cool action, it had a great fight stuff at the end and all that things. They're making a sequel to that, which I'm looking forward to because I love Godzilla. But because I think it did really well, Toho in Japan, the owners of Godzilla, had taken a break, which I guess actually they also reached the bare minimum amount of time they wanted to have a break from making constant Godzilla movies. But they're making a new Japanese Godzilla that's supposed to come out next year. And I'm so excited. I'm ready for it because not only is it a new Godzilla from Japan, so that's generally amazing. I mean, there's obviously been terrible Godzilla movies that are like that goofy, campy BS, but also I love those because it's still Godzilla. But regardless, the co-directors, the two directors are, oh, fuck, I wish I could remember their names, which sucks that I can't, but they are both, one of them is main guy who worked on Neon Genesis Evangelion, which I also love. He's a big guy that did that, and is still doing that. And that's why those movies are still delayed, or the last movie's delayed, because I started working on Godzilla. Ugh. The other person also has worked on some NGE and other animes, but is mostly known for practical effects, I guess, because he did practical effects in the newest collection of Gamera, which is another giant kaiju if you don't know about it. That was pretty cool. The most recent ones, which I forget when they came out, but they were really cool. They were interesting, actually. They were a really good take on giant monster things. And I loved it, but like, I think he also does the practical effects in the new live-action Attack on Titan, which I haven't watched, so I don't know what to say about that. But, excuse me. I'm just looking forward to it because it sounds awesome. I mean, there's all these things that I feel like are things I just love, and they're all working together to make a new thing of something I love. Godzilla. And like I said, that's why I say giant robots and giant monsters are amazing, and NGE fits right into that for me, even though it's weird and fucked up. You know, this is a thing I didn't think of before, but had a friend brought up to me while we were watching FLCL last night. Well, it was one other thing that we watched. Is that a lot of anime is about puberty. Is about the transition through puberty, because everybody knows that's not really the greatest time for anybody. But like, there's a lot of focus on it, and it's like, I mean, not every anime has that. Like, what am I trying to say? It is a central theme to a lot of animes, but it's also like a side theme to a bunch of things. Because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about some animes that I really like. And I talked about that my friends, that Kill la Kill is definitely about puberty. The first half of Gurren Lagann is definitely about puberty. Fuck, what were the other ones? I thought I was sitting around thinking about animes that are probably about puberty, and those two came up. There was a lot. Well, NGE is definitely about puberty. Fooly Cooly is about puberty, obviously. And it's just interesting to think, because it's nice to think what, like, I guess not everything is allegorical. Allegorical? It's not an allegory for something, but a lot of things definitely have, like, a hidden meaning. Not hidden meaning, necessarily, but, like, there's more to them than their face value. We talked about other things that exist. Besides puberty, there's also the transition into manhood happens a lot more than just adulthood, like, or womanhood. At least in my experience, maybe I just don't watch. I haven't watched a lot of animes that are about the transition into womanhood, but doesn't mean that they don't exist. I just don't know. But it's interesting to think about what the themes of stuff is. So, you know, and, you know, now actually, because of that time I spent going faster, we are ahead of where I was previous, and things are going better. Last time, a tornado came. Granted, it completely and utterly missed the town, but we don't have to deal with it now. Which reminds me, because disasters are a thing, market, no. This is something we need. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put these. We need to put wells somewhere. Oh, I know where to put a well. Super easy to where to put a well. By the thing that's most likely to burn down, a blacksmith. Probably going to put one in the town, whatever, town center area as well, because houses can burn down. We're actually probably going to need to build more houses soon, but we're also going to need to increase food if that comes to the case. Oh, this is actually an empty house. Full. This is pretty empty. We need some boy. Oh. Garland could move in with her. With the Yesy. Oh. There's also 2 people that are living by themselves, it seems. Which is okay, because that means they're more likely to have babies. There's lots of babies that aren't working yet, those sons of bitches. But things are going okay, I think. We're still having food problems, which sucks. I was hoping that we would stop having food problems. Like, I think we're constantly battling against it, and I can't tell. I haven't been watching that closely. Don't know if we're losing it, you know. Okay, but we are kind of, well, we're not really close to the end of this where I want to wrap it up, but I do want to just pose to you guys, like, that I would like it if you liked the video, subscribed to my channel, and commented on stuff. Because I thought that this would be fun to, again, just open it up. And so, as a thing I just talked about, you know, like, what are some animes you like? What are animes that you like? What are, again, not the hidden meaning, but what are, like, gosh, what am I trying to say again? What are the themes of those animes? Like, what is a cool theme you enjoy? What do you think of those really bad movies? And do you think, like, people are making them on purpose, or this comes off as, like, a terrible accident kind of thing? It's a thing I'm gonna do, which I think is crazy, but I'm gonna do it. Make a 10 by 10 orchard. Actually, no, I can make it bigger, can't I? How big can I make this boy? Oh, yeah. There's going to be an orchard there. Those take forever to produce food, but it's good to have them because they're easier to work, I think, for your guys. But yeah, like I was saying, what animes you like? What are the themes of things? What themes do you like in general of stuff? What do you think of those terrible movies? What do you think of the people that make those? I hope that I don't write things like that. Well, I guess because I don't think that they're super amazing or anything. And I know I'm kind of a noob with writing, so I'm just still learning or whatever. You know, I was just curious to know what you guys think. Like I said, I want to make a conversation. And of course, how was your Thanksgiving? Have a good time? I hope you did. Did you make anything? Did you do anything cool or interesting? Feel free. Say whatever you want. Yeah. It's like, you know, you can say something. Yes. Let's Ooh, let's go pears. Pears are nice. We will put 1 person to that. So only going to have 2 builders, but whatever. I think this is a mod that makes it do this, where it just cuts down the thing. It's nice. Although you can't build roads along the edge, which kind of sucks. Speaking of roads, that might be a thing to tackle next time. But yeah, like I said, let's just have a conversation, talk. I will happily read through any of the comments and all the comments and bring up whatever you guys have to talk about next time, Or otherwise, I'll figure out something to ramble about and BS for a while. Because this is, like, I enjoy doing this. I like to talk. So, we made it. I guess. Oh man, we are running out of food. We are running out of food, though. This is a huge problem. Well, next time, either I will fix the food problem, or we'll maybe have a different game to relax to for a bit. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate those that comment and share and do all those wonderful things that help me out because you think I'm neat. I love you. So, I hope you had a good holiday Thanksgiving thing, whatever you did. And I will see you guys in the next week with more of this. Thank you for watching. I don't know how to end things still.